Welcome to the Mobiso Reports and Logging training video. Mobiso reports are displayed as pop-ups. If you have a pop-up blocker enabled, you will need to allow pop-ups from the Mobiso system. There are several reports with Mobiso that you can use to determine how your system is being utilized. The first report is the usage report, which allows both detailed and summary report types. You can also generate this report in either a text, Excel, or CSV format. You can set the date range to run the report for, and if you want to run the report for a single person, you can put the user ID in the ID field. If you leave the ID field blank, the report will run for everyone on the system. Here is what the report looks like, and you can see a breakdown of the number of calls that a person made and the length of those phone calls. If your system is in transfer mode, the length of the calls will be 0. The call summary report shows the total number of calls made into the system, broken down by how many utterances were recognized and how many needed confirmation. This report can be run against a single application or against a single person, or any combination therein. Looking at this report shows that there were 445 calls into the system for a total of 3 hours and 32 minutes. 398 of those calls were auto-accepted, and 47 of them required some additional confirmation. You can also see additional details into the calls as to how they were accepted, if they were auto-accepted or if they needed confirmation, if they needed to retry the name due to the system not understanding what was said, calls that used enhanced disambiguation, and the number of calls that were going to use disambiguation but were canceled because the disambiguation was incorrect. You can also see the number of times a caller keyed in a user extension and the number of times that someone hung up on the system before the call was completed. The Cumulative Data report provides the port utilization to see the number of ports simultaneously in use. This report shows that on June 1st, there was 1 port in use for a total of 8 minutes and 33 seconds, whereas on June 2nd, there were 2 ports being used for 13 seconds, but there was a single port in use for 13 minutes and 46 seconds. This is an easy way to see how many simultaneous phone calls are being handled by the system. At the bottom of the report, it has the total number of calls handled by the system. If you have departments loaded on your system, the Department Prompts report will show you which departments have an uploaded audio file and which departments are still using a text-to-speech greeting. The People Prompts report will give you a list of only those people who are still using a text-to-speech name response. These people have not yet recorded their spoken name on the system. The People Summary report can be run for an application and also against a single person, and it will show the number of calls for each person. The Department Summary report is very similar to the People Summary report, as it will show the number of calls transferred to each department. The Hourly Summary report will show you your busy hour, as the report is broken down on an hourly basis for both the number of calls and the percentage of calls taken. Here you can see that in the 8 a.m. hour, the system handled 32 calls, whereas during the 3 p.m. hour, the system handled 54 calls. The Transfer Summary report shows the total number of calls for each transfer destination. The destination can be employee, department, voicemail, operator, etc. The Operator Summary report provides statistics about calls transferred to the operators. The Names Tuning tab is where you are able to view the Names Tuning reports that are returned to your system every month as part of the Names Tuning service. And finally, the Log tab shows all of the different log files that may be useful when troubleshooting your system. To view a file, simply click on the name and it will open up. This concludes the overview of the reports and logs that are available to a Mobiso administrator. For additional information, please refer to the Administrator's Guide or to any of the other videos available online.